Ever been burned by hiring someone who sounded amazing but just didn't deliver? Or worse, maybe you're this close to hiring a copywriter for your next launch, but you're not quite sure what to look for or what to avoid. If that's you, this episode is going to save you a lot of stress, money, and potential regret. Today, we're talking through 10 red flags to watch for when choosing a conversion copywriter for your project. Because let's be real, the wrong copywriter won't just waste your budget. They can cost you sales, trust, and momentum. So whether you're looking for someone to write your sales page, website copy, or email sequences for your next launch, this episode will help you make the right choice with clarity and confidence. Welcome to Seven Figure Copy, the show where I teach you how to create powerful strategic messaging so you can attract high-paying clients and scale your business to the next level with ease. I'm Gina Whitehouse, your expert conversion copywriter, and this podcast is for ambitious, value-driven female entrepreneurs like you who are ready to scale from 6 to 7 figures without sacrificing what matters most, your values, your time, and your family. In each episode, we'll dive into the art of crafting persuasive words for high-converting websites and sales pages, and you'll learn strategic copy techniques so you attract premium clients and boost your revenue. This podcast was created to help you tackle the challenges of balancing family life and business growth as you take your business to the next level. If you're ready to add a trusted partner to your team, making sure your message is compelling, consistent, and impactful, then you're in the right place. Hey everybody, it's Gina Whitehouse. I am the host of Seven Figure Copy. I am so excited that you are here today. This, I would say, is kind of like a part 2 to the episode last week when I talked through the different questions you should ask a copywriter before you work together. So today we're talking about the 10 red flags to watch for before you actually say yes and sign a contract, okay? So, red flag number 1 I want you to look for is that they don't ask you detailed questions when you meet for that time where you're trying to get to know each other and decide if you want to work together. So for myself, I always have someone book a 30-minute complimentary copy chat with me, and that's where we talk about your project. But also, I'm trying to get a feel if you're the right person to work with for me, and you're trying to get a feel of if I'm the right copywriter for you, right? So we want to ask questions, but you want to ask questions, all right? So it's a conversation. You're asking questions, but they should be asking you questions too. So, high converting copy, it doesn't just come from thin air, right? It's built on research, nuance, and understanding. So if someone doesn't take the time to learn about your business, they're not just skipping a step, they're really setting the whole thing up for to be a flop, okay? So you want to ask the questions to them, but you want to see if they're asking you questions about your business, about yourself, about the offer, the product, the service, the group program, the one-on-one coaching, whatever it is that you provide, whatever it is that you want them to write for. Okay, so make sure that they are asking you questions. If they are not, that's a red flag. The second red flag is that there is no mention of them offering to interview your happiest clients or customers. Okay, this one is huge. If your copywriter here that you are talking to never talks about the possibility of taking that next step, and I wanted to just say an extra step, it shouldn't be an extra step. It should be the next step in finding out more about you and your business and your product, which is interviewing your clients or customers. If they don't do this, run, okay? Because this is what I do, and I do this for most of my done-for-you clients. I always offer it. Sometimes people decline it, and that's fine, but I always offer to do a full research phase, and that includes an extensive intake form, a questionnaire that people fill out, and then we get on a Zoom strategy session, and then I do one-on-one 20-minute interviews personally with 2 to 3 of their happiest clients. And why do I do this? Because nothing beats the words coming directly from the people you've already helped. Their insights are gold. Their testimonials are authentic. And this is also one way to get more testimonials, because I'll talk to your clients and those words they tell me will craft those into testimonials that I'll later send back to them and they'll approve. Okay. And it just has conversion power. It will 10 times anything, I will say. I don't usually throw like numbers and statistics out there, but I'm just roughly saying that when A copywriter actually goes and researches and talks to your happy clients and customers. It will like 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times, whatever you want to say. It's a phrase. It will enhance the results, right? It will increase your results. You would be surprised about how many copywriters skip this step. So if there's no mention or offer of interviewing your past or present clients or customers, make sure to ask them if they will do this for you. And if they say that they don't provide that service, you need to find a different copywriter. Okay, let's talk about red flag number 3. Remember in the last episode when I said that you need to ask for examples from their portfolio? Well, let's say you did that and you saw those samples, but they came back and they sounded like it could be used for any business. Beware. Okay. We want someone, or you want someone that understands your unique positioning of your business and your offer and can write in a way that speaks to your audience and not just to anybody. Now, what I'm not saying here is I'm not saying, how do I put into words? I'm not saying that you're not looking for a copywriter that can write for anybody, right? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you're looking for, when you're looking at a sample of their copy, if you can put it, it's like if you can apply it to a different business and it sounds okay, that it's too vague. Like that person hasn't done the research. That person isn't writing specifically enough for that business, and they're not going to write specifically enough for your business. So I always say, like, think of a website headline. Okay, let's say that you go to a website and the headline says, "Live your best life now." Okay, it sounds like it could be used on a website for like a financial advisor. Live your best life now, right? It could also be used on a website for a fitness professional. Live your best life now. Or it could be used on Joel Osteen's website, right? Live your best life now, right? If you can take that phrase and use it on a different variety of different businesses, then it's just too vague. So what I'm getting down to here is look for a copywriter who has a range and can show examples across multiple tones, audiences, and industries. But you want to make sure that they can write a specific language for your business, that they can write specifically for your business, that the things that they write for your business, that they just can't slap it onto other things. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So you're looking for specificity. Did I say that right? Specificity in their portfolio and not something generic. Red flag number 4 that I want you to look for when you have that 30-minute copy chat with that person is I want you to look for if they promise a quick turnaround for the project. So listen, I get it that everybody wants fast results, right? Even when I work with someone, I want fast results. But if a copywriter promises you like overnight magic, that's a red flag, okay? Like if they say, oh yeah, I can have your sales page written for you in 3 days. No, you got to run. Like that's when I think that you might get something that's really generic. And 3 days, it takes way more than 3 days to do research, okay? So strategic copy takes time, especially when it's built on research, interviews, and intentional messaging. So if it's rushed, it could possibly be something that they're just recycling, okay? And recycling content is just not going to convert. Remember, if you've listened to me for as long as you have during this season, you know that we need to get those, what I call the copywriting gold, the phrases, the words, the things that your clients say, your happy clients and customers say, so we can use that to mirror it back to your future buyers in the copy. The other red flag to look for, number 5, is that there's no talk of strategy. Okay, so copy without strategy is just words. If your copywriter isn't asking about, let's say, your launch goals or the structure of your funnel or the customer journey when you chat for the first time, then there's the possibility they could just be writing in a vacuum. Okay, so your sales page, especially, it's not a standalone piece. It has to support your entire offer ecosystem. So pay attention to this, okay? Pay attention to the questions they are asking or not asking. You want to work with someone who is interested in your business and wants to champion you, not just sell you into their service. All right. Red flag number 6, I want you to pay attention to. And I have talked about this already in episodes 26 and 27. Okay. But red flag number 6 is unethical or I cannot say this word, manipulative tactics. All right. So if a copywriter suggests using shady urgency, false scarcity, or manipulative language, walk away fast, okay? Your reputation matters more than a temporary spike in sales. Can I just say that again? Your reputation matters more than a temporary spike in sales. Ethical copy can still be persuasive, okay? And it can use urgency and scarcity, but there is an ethical way to use it. And that will be when it's rooted in trust, truth, and long-term relationships. Okay. So it's a red flag if someone's making promises to you by using shady tactics. I could go into a lot of examples here, but I'm just going to say, because I've already gone into them, go back and listen to episode 26 and 27. Okay. You want to have high converting persuasive copy that builds trust, but with integrity. So go back to number 26 and 27, where I talk about the ethical way to use urgency and scarcity without manipulating your target audience. All right. All of these are important. I just gave you an important one, number 6, but I'm going to say this is another very important one. And this one is when you meet a copywriter that is inflexible around feedback. Okay. Working with a copywriter, it's a collaborative relationship. And if your copywriter bristles at feedback, can't adapt, or insists on doing it their own way, their way only, watch out. Great copy evolves through iteration and partnership. Your voice, your goals, your insights, they matter. And a good copywriter welcomes that. Okay, so this kind of goes back to what we talked about in the last episode by asking, how many revisions, do I get? What's the timeline? So in this case, if you're talking to someone and they're like, no, I'm going to give it to you, and that's just that, again, walk away or ask more questions. Ask, well, why don't you allow me to have revisions, right? This isn't just hiring someone. This is a partner. So make sure that you find someone that's a partner in the way that they are willing to collaborate with you. If you've ever thought, I know my offer helps people, but I'm not sure if my sales page is motivating people to buy, I want you to know right now that you are not alone. Let's get you from second guessing every word to selling your service, product, or program with confidence and clarity ASAP. Today, I'm inviting you to book a 30-minute complimentary copy chat with me to find out whether you need a strategic copy audit of your existing sales page or if you need a newly written, high-converting, done-for-you sales page. Let's make your offer sell easier, attract the right fit people, and make them think, how did she get in my head? Go to the show notes to book your call today or go to my website at whitehousesm.com. Okay, red flag number 8 is vague or slow communication. So obviously, I know you're not expecting replies at all hours. And a copywriter is not going to reply at all hours, not a good one, not one that's going to put boundaries in place so that they don't burn out. I know I do, right? I basically say you'll hear from me within 48 hours, but usually it's within 24 hours, and I don't respond on weekends because that's my family time. But if a copywriter is consistently slow to respond and kind of flaky on deadlines, that's a no-no. This is not someone you want to work with, okay? Your business deserves clear timelines, responsive updates, and straightforward expectations from the start. And something that I do is I lay all of that out in my contract before we even start, okay? In my contract, you'll see the dates of when you're going to get things, when the deliverables are going to come to you. It's going to set up expectations. It's going to tell you how many revisions you get and within how many days you can expect to receive that. And when the project completely ends, like what's the end date, all of that. Okay. So make sure that even if you're at the point where you're getting that contract from that copywriter, make sure it's all laid out in the contract. It just needs to be clear. You need to go into this partnership with clear expectations. Okay, I have 2 more red flags with you. So thanks for hanging on to this point. Right now we're at red flag number 9. And this is the one where someone might guarantee specific results. Okay. So if a copywriter guarantees you 3 times the conversions or promises that you will sell out of your launch, that is a huge red flag. I never make these promises. Why? Because there are just too many variables. There's your audience, there's your offer, there's, how much traffic are you getting, like how much traffic, right, is coming to the thing that you want to sell. What about pricing? That could be a big thing too. So I would say go back to episode 31. Again, it's where I interview my client, Kelly Learden. And toward the end of the episode, we chat about how successful her launches are because she really shows up in her Instagram stories. So yes, she has a great sales page because I wrote that for her. But someone could use that same sales page and, should I even say this? I will. Like it could completely flop, right? Getting people into that group program if no one's even heard of the program before, right? So yes, having an amazing sales page is a must for your offer, but there are other things that are part of that launch or the evergreen offer that you have. Okay. So in this episode 31, we talk about one of the components of her launch that makes it so successful is that she shows up in Instagram stories all the time. And it's because when she's in stories, she's building relationships with people and people are getting to know her there and they see how much value she provides. And because she provides so much value for free that when they hit her sales page, they see what she's offering and they know that they're going to get 10 times that amount because of what she already gives away for free. Okay. I mean, her launch statistics, they blow normal businesses out of the water. And it's not just because of her sales page. It's also because she shows up online. So specific results are going to vary for each person, but I want you to take note here is that a confident copywriter will show you examples of results. They'll explain their strategy and set realistic expectations, but they will never guarantee results that they can't control. Okay. So if you're talking to a copywriter and they're like, oh yeah, I can double the open rate for your emails, not necessarily. Okay, it depends. If someone were to come to me and they would say, Gina, I need my open rate to be larger. Well, first I will say, I want to see one of your emails and I want to see the statistics, right? Because I know what the average statistics are for an open rate for an email. They're 19 to 20%. And that might change whether it's a cold audience or a warm audience. So depending on these different factors, that's when I'm going to be able to come back and say, you know what? Yes, your open rates are low, or no, they're actually average, but I think we can do a few trial tests. I can rewrite those subject lines for you, rewrite those emails, and see if we can get a higher open rate. In the back of my mind, I probably know, yes, I can get you a higher open rate, but I'm not going to make a promise of, well, yeah, I can get you a 60% open rate. It's all going to just depend on how much you have warmed up that audience, right? So if someone guarantees specific results, again, run, that's a red flag. Okay, the last red flag I want to talk about is that this person has no references or case studies. This kind of goes back to when we talked about, let's see, which one was it? I think it was red flag number 3, generic portfolio. So this kind of goes back to their portfolio again. If they have nothing, okay. Now, I'm not going to say that if a copywriter has nothing, don't work with them. Obviously, it really depends on where they're at in their business. When I first started, no, I didn't have something to show someone, right? So I started writing my own stuff so that I would actually have something to show people. But if you're looking for a well-seasoned conversion copywriter, again, you should ask them to see portfolio examples. They should have something to show. There's obviously the portfolio, but also let's get beyond that, right? They should have testimonials that they've collected from their prior clients that you can read through. Maybe like a possible case study. Like for instance, for me, you could go back and listen to episode 31 and with my client, and that is a case study episode. I also have another episode that it wasn't mine. I talk about it in the previous episode. My client, Jan, on her podcast, The Business of Good, episode 60 is basically like a big case study of what it was like for her to hand off her copy to me to write her copy. So that's like another case study, or I would even say the whole episode is like a testimonial. She was so wonderful to share her experience there. Okay. You could even ask to talk to another one of their clients, right? It's like when you go to the doctor, sometimes before you choose a doctor, you might have a friend and you're like, hey, which doctor should I go to? How's your doctor, right? You're getting, again, the experience from someone else. So you could even ask like, hey, can I talk to one of your clients? Could you point me in their direction, right? So, and of course, asking for samples from relevant projects. So if they don't have any of these, it doesn't mean that they're a bad copywriter. Not at all. I won't say that. It just means that you need to dig a little deeper before saying yes. Get to know them a little better, okay? Okay, so we're almost done here. I just want to address really quick. Some of you have been burned by past copywriters and you're hesitant to trust someone again. I know you're not alone. And it may not even be a copywriter. It might be another service provider or someone else you worked with. It could be a social media manager or a virtual assistant, or you bought into some program and spent a lot of money and you're like, oh, this really underperformed. Okay. A lot of this is going on right now. And I understand you're hesitant. And I've been in that spot and there's still areas where I'm very hesitant to buy. Okay. But knowing these red flags to look for, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to know these things. It's a good thing to go back to the last episode and learn those questions that you should ask before partnering with a copywriter, okay? One of my clients just said, she said, I had a massive resistance to hiring a copywriter. I thought no one can write like I can. But once I saw the process, the questions Sheena asked, the way she captured my voice, I finally felt safe handing it off, okay? So you deserve a partner who gets your brand, who respects your expertise and can translate your vision into words that actually sell. So just like you never build a house without a blueprint, right? Don't hire a copywriter without checking for red flags. Ask the questions. You have every right to ask for the questions. Look for the green lights, okay? Your voice, your business, your future clients, they deserve that level of care. So don't be shy about it. Just ask the questions. So if you're ready to work with someone who doesn't just check all the boxes and just do the minimal viable product, but actually cares about your message and your business and the offer that you have, let's chat, okay? I offer copy audits. I offer done-for-you sales pages, launch copy. I even have a messaging blueprint that I put together for my clients. I love doing that. It's kind of like a small bite way for us to work together. So you can kind of dip one little toe into working with a copywriter, seeing how that experience is. So that's my messaging strategy blueprint service that I do. And a copy audit is another great way to dip your toe in and see what it's like to work together. So if you would like to see what it's like to work together and talk about the amazing thing you want to put out there, don't hesitate to book a complimentary copy chat with me. Okay. You can go to whitehousesm.com and you'll see the button at the top to book a copy chat with me, or you can go to the notes in this episode and there's a link to do that there too. And if you're not sure if your copy is high converting enough, again, I ask you go to the Yes Vault. It's only $14. And when you unlock the vault, you're going to have 3 short videos that show you before and after copy examples. So you can see what poor performing copy looks like and great high converting copy looks like. All right. So if you have any questions, you know how to reach me. You can find me also on Instagram and LinkedIn. On Instagram, I am at whitehouse.strategy.marketing. And LinkedIn, just look me up there. And again, I'm so thankful that you spent this time together with me today, whether we work together or if you work with another conversion copywriter. Make sure to ask questions and look out for the red flags. All right, have a great day. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of 7-Figure Copy. If you've enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave a 5-star review on your favorite platform and follow me on Instagram for more insights. Can you think of one female entrepreneur or small business owner right now who could benefit from listening to this podcast? Please share this episode with them. And if you're ready to hand off the copy for your website, emails, and sales pages, head over to www.whitehousesm.com to book a complimentary copy chat with me. Let's partner together to take your business to the next level.